My name is Brock Page, and I do random sports picks for fun. First game I have for you, Cleveland at Indiana. The betting opened up with the Cavs as the 3-point favorites, and the total at 211.5. Since then, Cleveland's now minus 3.5 against the spread, with the total moving upward to 212.5. Currently, the Cavaliers are laying 165 on the money line, and at the moment, 62% of the bettors think the Cavs will get the job done. Speaking of Cleveland, they're dominating the series and putting up a lot of points while doing it. They're also facing an Indiana team who's covered just 8 of 22 in games at the current point spread. On a side note, all 3 games have gone over the total posted points. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I think Cleveland minus 3.5 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total, I think this one goes over 212.5. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think the Cavs win it. I'm also adjusting the line and taking Indiana plus 11.5 as the first pick of my 8-point super teaser. Next game, Houston at OKC. The betting opened up with Oklahoma City as the 1-point favorite with the total at 225. Since then, OKC is now minus 1.5 against the spread with the total moving downward to 224. Currently, the Thunder lays 120 on the money line, and at the moment, 53% of the bettors think Houston will get the job done. Speaking of the Rockets, they've covered 2 out of 3 in this series. They're also 5-2 against the spread when facing OKC. In addition to that, the Rockets are covering a staggering 83% as the official road underdog. When it comes to the total points, both teams are collectively averaging 219 total combined points in this series. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I think Houston plus 1.5 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total points, I think this one stays under 224. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Houston wins it outright. I'm also adjusting the line and taking Houston plus 9.5 as the second pick of my 8-point super teaser. Next game, Boston minus 2.5 at Chicago with the total at 204. Currently, the Celtics are laying 145 on the money line, and at the moment, 64% of the bettors think Boston gets the job done. Speaking of the Celtics, they're a solid covering team on the road, going 24-15 against the spread away from home. They're also covering 70% of their games at the current point spread. When it comes to scoring, both teams are collectively averaging 202 total combined points, respectively, in the series. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I think Boston minus 2.5 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total, I think this one stays under 204. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Boston wins it outright. I'm also adjusting the line and taking Chicago plus 10.5 as the third and final pick of my 3-teamer. That's going to take us into our next and final game for the show. It is going to be LA Clippers plus 2 at Utah with the total moving upward to 198.5. Currently, Utah's laying 135 on the money line, and at the moment, 73% of the bettors think the Jazz will get the job done. Speaking of Utah, they're covering an impressive 73% of their games at the current point spread. They're facing a Clippers team who's covered just 20 of 42 on the road. When it comes to scoring, both teams are collectively averaging 200 total combined points in the series, respectively. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I think Utah minus 2 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total, I think this one goes over 198.5. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Utah wins it at home. Just a reminder, my 8-point sweetheart super teasers pay 5 to 6 and get graded as a loss should any game result in a push. You can find this exotic wager in several online sports books and in the state of Delaware. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page, predictions and sports picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.